Now at 9, Joplin schools unveil a $50 million renovation plan. What voters need to know.
Nearly 50 nonprofit organizations in Southeast Kansas are participating in Match Week. My name is Mitch Adams, and I'll bring you more details about that story coming up.
Lawmakers spar on Capitol Hill as the longest government shutdown in history draws to a close. I'm Connor Hansen in New York. I'll have the details coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Joplin schools take the next step in a comprehensive building overhaul. This is KOAM News. I'm Tanya Bach. With Phase 1 renovations already underway, the district is now releasing Phase 2 recommendations targeting classroom upgrades, parking lot safety, and security improvements. Ty Perks has the details on the $50 million proposal.
The Long Range Facility Committee started 2 years ago, and they went through every single building, looking over everything and rolled out recommendations for improvement. Phase 1 has started. Now the plans for Phase 2 are being released.
For the safety and security of our kids and families and staff, we need to do some parking renovations and pick up drop-off renovations in some of those schools.
Recommendations include renovations to classrooms and the hallways, as well as trying to get them up to the same standard as the tornado-built schools, Irving, Soaring Heights, and Dover. Even Joplin High School will see changes.
You think when you build a high school and you have 3 gyms, that's enough, but then our goal is to always have as many activities for our kids as possible. And so when you start adding archery, winter guard, all those different activities and to go along with athletics, space runs out really quick.
However, it's going to take money to complete.
All of them, it's probably looking around $50 million. So we would look at possibly a $40 million bond issue if the board chooses to do that. And then we'd use an additional $10 million from our capital outlay reserves for that. We're already using $11 million of our capital outlay reserves for the Phase 1 project. So we would add another $10 million into the projects.
The bonds pass. They hope to have it finished by summer of 2028. In Joplin, Ty Parks, KOAM News.
The long-range facility plan serves as a living document, so whoever is on the school board can follow the progress as the renovations are completed. An investigation into what caused a Carl Junction house fire turns into a criminal investigation. Authorities responded to reports of a fire early last night in the 3100 block of North Illinois. Witnesses say a man ran from the area when the fire appeared, and no occupants or responders were injured. The Missouri State Fire Marshal's office will assist in the investigation, which the Carl Junction Fire Chief confirms is an active criminal investigation. Meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney joins us now with a first look at weather.
Well, temperatures today reached the low 70s. We hit about 73 degrees. Now average is 60, so we're nearly 15 degrees warmer than average. Our low is right on par with it, but our record was only 81, and we have the chance to at least match a record later into the week, Saturday, with temperatures reaching the upper 70s. So we're going to hold on to that for the rest of the night. Tonight, though, clear skies remain all night long until early Thursday morning. Then we start to see some increasing clouds. Overall, pretty nice, mild night, and we finally get a chance to see another potential geomagnetic storm. We saw one last night that resulted in those northern lights. If you got a chance to see it last night, it was awesome. But if you get another chance later on this evening until about 1 a.m., but I'll have a full look at your forecast coming up.
All right, thanks, Lindsay. The spirit of giving is alive and well in Southeast Kansas. 48 nonprofit organizations in the area are participating in Match Week, meaning donations to a good cause could be even greater. KOAM's Mitch Adams gives us the story.
Match Week is in full swing in Southeast Kansas, with donations flowing in to support nonprofit organizations. The Community Foundation of Southeast Kansas is offering matching donations to help build sustainability for the nonprofits.
And the Community Foundation is proud to have over $100,000 in matching funds to amplify donations that come in from the community. So more money that helps support our local nonprofits and the work that they do day in and day out to better our community.
One benefactor of donations this week consists of the Miners Hall Museum, Franklin Community Park, and Dragline Park, which are all managed by one entity. Phyllis Bittner, the chair of the Miners Hall Museum Foundation, says that the Match Week helps grow funding that may need to be utilized by future board members.
We know that all of us won't be here say 10 or 15 years from now, and we want the facilities to continue to be able to be maintained. So through the endowment funds, that's how that will happen.
The efforts from area foundations and the generosity of donors is meant to pave a way for organizations to increase their longevity and be an active part of the community.
Needs in our community, donors are helping support that effort, and we're an avenue to help them do that. And it's really humbling to see the support that our community has for all these organizations and the work that they do.
Reporting in Southeast Kansas, Mitch Adams, KOAM News.
Well, according to Executive Director Devin Gorman, the foundation is approaching $2 million given to support nonprofits in the area over the last 10 years. Well, coming up, childhood diseases on the uptick.
Health officials are sounding the alarm about whooping cough and the flu. I'm Steve Harrigan in Atlanta. That story ahead.
And later, new hemp restrictions could force Missouri CBD stores to close. Business owners react. As vaccination rates continue declining, a new whooping cough outbreak is emerging in Texas and parts of Utah, right as peak flu season hits across the country. Fox News correspondent Steve Harrigan has the latest.
There's been really an incredible decline in rates of vaccination.
And as those rates keep going down, diseases that were almost eradicated are reemerging. Earlier this year, it was measles. Now, there's a growing whooping cough outbreak emerging in Texas and parts of Utah. Public health officials say it's because kids aren't getting their shots.
It's kind of considered one of those childhood diseases that has been vaccine preventable now for decades. Some people have suspicions, or maybe they've read some information about vaccines that gives them concerns.
Meanwhile, peak flu season, which runs from November to February, is well underway.
We are starting to see an increase in flu-related hospitalizations.
Last year's flu season was the deadliest in decades, and it's expected to be another difficult year. Doctors in Canada say they are bracing for big outbreaks involving a new strain that could be a mismatch for this year's vaccine.
With vaccine rates declining, we worry that we may see another rough season again this season.
Experts are now urging people to get the flu vaccine as soon as possible, despite a lack of outreach from the CDC, which canceled its vaccination campaign. Spokesperson says the CDC is launching a new campaign to, quote, raise awareness, but that has not happened yet, leaving doctors to help fill the gap.
The flu vaccine is safe, effective, and it's the best way to prevent serious illnesses from the flu, so please get it.
Australia and Japan have already declared flu epidemics after record numbers of cases. In Atlanta, Steve Harrigan, Fox News.
Well, having greater access to maternity care leads to fewer infant deaths. A study published in JAMA found in communities with low access to maternity care, infant mortality was 14% higher than in communities where mothers had easy access to nearby hospitals and obstetricians. The difference in mortality was only seen among white infants, which suggests other disparities impact people of color. Well, Lindsay's next with a complete look at your forecast, and later, northern lights dazzle four-state viewers for a second night.
We had a nice warming trend this week. Yesterday, we were in the mid-60s. Today, we got into the low 70s. We're going to see temperatures continue to warm up for the rest of the week. So, similar to today, we're going to have temperatures continuing to warm up 5 to 10 degrees every day. Then by Saturday, we could reach record temperatures, record highs. Now for the rest of the evening tonight, pretty clear skies. You can say, taking a look at downtown Joplin from the Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex. Also might see a chance of catching the northern lights again tonight. We have mostly clear skies through the rest of the evening. So as we continue into just by midnight, we do see some clouds starting to move into Kansas City area, though we're still clear. Now the window to see the northern lights are until about 1 a.m. But we really are seeing these clouds holding off until early Thursday morning. So by 6 a.m. we get a lot of clouds, upper level clouds, which means we'll start the day a little with overcast skies. Now, like I said, we will have a pretty strong geomagnetic storm again this evening, similar to last night. So if you got a chance to get outside and see those lights, you might get another chance tonight. Now, best viewing is until about 1 a.m. So I'd advise going to take a look now as we continue through the rest of the night. Now, By Friday, we're just going back to business as usual. Warm temperatures well above average for this time in November. Then hitting into Monday is our next chance of rain. We have this little short wave right there. Could bring a couple of isolated showers there Monday evening. This is going to be pretty late Monday evening into early Tuesday morning, with our greatest chance of widespread rain holding off until Wednesday. So we're about 2 a.m. on Wednesday. We've got a pretty deep low pressure system that's going to drive eastward, bringing us rain chances. So scattered showers on Wednesday, potential thunderstorms on Thursday, but the rain holds out all the way through Friday before moving out towards our east. Now that's just our first low pressure system that will drop temperatures down back into the 50s, but this second low that'll be moving in by the weekend and into the following week really going to bring those temperatures further down, similar to what we saw last weekend, reinforcing that cold air, bringing us back down to average. So until then, if you really like the warm temperatures, 75 on Friday, 77 on Saturday, plus pretty windy with gusts up to 45 miles per hour. A little cooler there on Sunday following a dry cold front down to the upper 60s. And then Monday, we're back into the 70s with some more rain chances, those evening showers. Cooler Tuesday, but back into the 60s for the remainder of the week.
I'll take those 70s. A northern lights display lit up the sky last night, a stunning sight for those who caught it. Now, these are images sent to us by viewers right here in the 4 states. The technical term for this is an aurora, and it occurs as a result of a coronal mass ejection, which is a particle-charged blast of solar material that serves as a magnetic field in space. 2 CMEs were detected last night.
Aurora spins up when these charged particles get into our outer atmosphere and interact with Earth's own molecules that exist up there. And that releases energy and light. And that's what we see as the aurora. And that all came together very well last night. And once again, we're expecting a third CME that now has arrived. And we're starting to watch it to see if it could potentially get as intense as last night.
Well, if you missed last night's display, you can try again right now. NOAA says a third CME has reached us, but it's slightly weaker, so open your camera exposure. NOAA will continue to provide updates on its website, including another possible CME event tomorrow night. Well, coming up next, the passing of the penny.
The U.S. Mint in Philadelphia pressing its last penny after the president canceled production of the 1-cent coin. I'm Griff Jenkins in Washington with more on this story coming up.
After more than 2 centuries in circulation, the Mint in Philadelphia pressed its final 1-cent coin. The penny is now discontinued, but it's not out of circulation yet. Fox News national correspondent Griff Jenkins has more from Washington.
Today we retire the penny.
The end of an era. After more than 200 years in production, the penny is no more.
The last time we've discontinued a coin was the half cent, and that was in 1857, 168 years ago. So everyone sitting in this room, we are experiencing history today.
U.S. Treasurer Brandon Beach pressed the final copper-plated coin Wednesday after President Trump called for its cancellation nearly a year ago. The president, writing online, quote, "For far too long, the United States has minted pennies which literally cost us more than 2 cents. This is so wasteful."
It's a great day. I mean, we're saving the taxpayers $56 million a year.
The Trump administration claims the penny is just too costly to make. It cost the mint nearly 4 cents to produce every penny. For comparison, nickels also cost more to produce than they're worth, but that isn't the case for dimes or quarters.
By taking this step, we protect taxpayer dollars, streamline operations, and better align our currency with the way Americans use their modern wallets.
The administration also points out cashless transactions have changed how Americans use currency. But critics say businesses may be forced to round prices down to avoid shortchanging people. It could also cause rationing of supplies, a concern the treasurer dismissed.
Let me be crystal clear. The penny remains legal tender. We have over 300 billion pennies that remain in circulation, and we encourage you to use them.
According to the Mint, the last pennies ever pressed will not go into circulation. Instead, they'll be auctioned off at a later date. In Washington, Griff Jenkins, Fox News.
With another tough flu season ahead, Ricola is creating scarves that protect your throat while keeping you stylish. The herb-scented accessories cost $40 and feature the same Swiss Alpine herbs that made Ricola famous. The luxury wellness accessories target active consumers who won't slow down for winter. Coming up next, Kansas historians gather for a special Ken Burns documentary preview.
Ford F-Zero.
History came alive tonight in Iola, Kansas, as Allen Community College hosted a special preview screening of Ken Burns' upcoming documentary, The American Revolution. The event drew dozens of community members for an exclusive look at the acclaimed filmmaker's latest work, followed by panel discussion with Kansas historians. Tonight's screening represents part of a statewide effort by the Kansas 250 Commission as the nation approaches its 250th anniversary.
Ken Burns has been working on this documentary, I think, close to 10 years or somewhere in that neighborhood. So people have been very excited to see it come out. It was time for America's semi-sesquicentennial, our 250th birthday. And we said, hey, how can we get involved in that?
The full documentary series premieres this Sunday on PBS. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports coming your way. Congressional leaders clash as the nation's longest government shutdown comes to an end. And proposed hemp restrictions threaten Missouri's CBD businesses.
You're watching the 4 states' most watched news.
This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. After 43 days, the longest shutdown in government history is officially over. The House voted this evening to pass a continuing resolution funding bill, which will reopen the government. And President Trump signed it just minutes ago. Fox News correspondent Connor Hansen reports.
The House officially passing a spending bill to reopen the government after 6 weeks of shutdown.
On this vote, the yeas are 222, the nays are 209. The bill is passed.
While there's certainly relief on Capitol Hill that government funding is being restored and federal workers will be paid again, the deal is landing with a thud, with many Democratic House members who say party leaders didn't secure their primary demand that sparked the shutdown in the first place: the extension of ACA subsidies.
I think people understand what a betrayal this is to not be able to go back with a victory.
We've spent 43 days in a total stalemate for nothing.
Democrats Wednesday introduced a discharge petition to try to force a vote in the coming weeks to extend subsidies for another 3 years. Some Republicans have suggested they'd be open to a 1-year extension.
We're probably going to have to extend some of the subsidies temporarily to see if we can't get some of those premiums down.
Meanwhile, House Republicans say they'll introduce a bill next week to remove a last-minute provision added by the Senate that would allow senators to sue the government for obtaining their phone records during special counsel Jack Smith's investigation.
The health budget nightmare for America's families and a slush fund lottery win for 8 Republican senators.
I found out about it last night. I was surprised, I was shocked by it, and I was angry about it.
The bill funds the government through January 30th. Some in Washington fear they could be having the same fight in a couple of months. In New York, Connor Hansen, Fox News.
Well, several House members also expressed concern and fought against a provision of today's bill that would prohibit the sale of certain hemp products. Emma McDarris spoke with one Missouri congressman and CBD store owners about the impact it will have on their business.
Members on both sides of the aisle have issues with some of the language in a provision around hemp. The provision would eliminate the loophole in the 2018 Farm Bill, which defined hemp as excluded from the federal definition of marijuana, and legalize the farming and selling of hemp. The main argument for the provision is to stop bad actors from selling unsafe THC products.
The 2018 Farm Bill that allowed hemp to open up, which actually at one time in the 1800s was the largest cash crop in Missouri. There are people who are doing it the right way. Unfortunately, bad actors got involved in this process and kind of ruined it for just about everyone.
If passed, it would prohibit the selling of hemp products with more than 0.4 milligrams of THC.
I will vote for it. I have some very good friends who are hemp growers in our district in Cass County. And they're doing things with it like making building materials and rope and other clothing accessories. This will not affect them.
However, owners of CBD stores like Brian Oliver in Springfield say this would hurt business.
Oh, we're done. We'll close up shop for sure.
Oliver says he and other owners in the state oppose the prohibition and are encouraging regulation instead.
So we have lab work on all of our product. We're not required in this industry, and that's what we've been fighting for 3 years in Missouri, is regulation, common sense regulation. We've been 21 plus since we opened. It's, we can sell to 18 plus. We choose not to.
Doug is next with a complete look at your forecast. And later, 2 young Joplin dancers are taking their talents overseas as part of Team USA. We highlight their story as they prepare to perform on the international stage.
We had a nice warming trend this week. Yesterday, we were in the mid-60s. Today, we got into the low 70s. We're going to see temperatures continue to warm up for the rest of the week. So similar to today, we're going to have temperatures continuing to warm up 5 to 10 degrees every day. Then by Saturday, we could reach record temperatures, record highs. Now for the rest of the evening tonight, pretty clear skies. You can say, taking a look at downtown Joplin from the Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex. Also might see a chance of catching the northern lights again tonight. We have mostly clear skies through the rest of the evening. So as we continue into just by midnight, we do see some clouds starting to move into Kansas City area, though we're still clear. Now the window to see the northern lights are until about 1 a.m. But we really are seeing these clouds holding off until early Thursday morning. So by 6 a.m. we get a lot of clouds, upper level clouds, which means we'll start the day a little with overcast skies. Now, like I said, we will have a pretty strong geomagnetic storm again this evening, similar to last night. So if you got a chance to get outside and see those lights, you might get another chance tonight. Now, best viewing is until about 1 a.m. So I'd advise going to take a look now as we continue through the rest of the night. Now, by Friday, we're just going back to business as usual. Warm temperatures well above average for this time in November. Then hitting into Monday is our next chance of rain. We have this little short wave right there. Could bring a couple of isolated showers there Monday evening. This is going to be pretty late Monday evening into early Tuesday morning, with our greatest chance of widespread rain holding off until Wednesday. So we're about 2 a.m. on Wednesday. We've got a pretty deep low pressure system that's going to drive eastward, bringing us rain chances. So scattered showers on Wednesday, potential thunderstorms on Thursday, but the rain holds out all the way through Friday before moving out towards our east. Now that's just our first low pressure system that will drop temperatures down back into the 50s, but this second low that'll be moving in by the weekend and into the following week really going to bring those temperatures further down, similar to what we saw last weekend, reinforcing that cold air, bringing us back down to average. So until then, if you really like the warm temperatures, 75 on Friday, 77 on Saturday, plus pretty windy with gusts up to 45 miles per hour. A little cooler there on Sunday following a dry cold front down to the upper 60s. And then Monday, we're back into the 70s with some more rain chances, those evening showers. Cooler Tuesday, but back into the 60s for the remainder of the week.
All right, nice forecast. Well, Missouri Southern State University explores the intersection of creativity and commerce today during the Nanette Philibert Business of Art Symposium. The gathering connected artists, entrepreneurs, and business leaders who shared strategies for building successful creative careers. Participants learned how to transform artistic talent into sustainable income through sessions on marketing, networking, and business planning.
There's a business side to artwork that is much broader than is usually available in college because it's harder to teach it. So there's usually kind of a gap between college and then real application of your knowledge to selling the artwork that you produce. Or
Kidwell hopes to inspire young artists to see their talent as both a passion and a viable career. Still ahead, the Carthage boys swim team received a special send-off as they head to the state championships. Those details next. Plus, it's National Signing Day with athletes solidifying their commitments at the next level. Sports Director Ryan Blank has those stories and more up next in sports.
It's National Signing Day with athletes across the 4-state region putting pen to paper, solidifying their futures at the collegiate level. Let's break down some of the signings from across the area. Starting at McCully Catholic High School, Case Richards signed his letter of intent to Lincoln University in Jefferson City, where he will play baseball. Talking with the Warrior Star, he said that all those late nights wondering if college baseball was even possible, those nights were worth it to get to this point.
It definitely seemed like a good fit. It felt less like a team, more like a family. Very nice place, very good coaching. They seemed like they cared. They seemed like they were more interested in me as a person than what I could do on the field. The test of character and not ability was definitely appealing. Knowing that I'm going to be able to go on and keep playing, doing what I love, it's the best.
Staying in Joplin with the Eagles, who had 7 athletes ink their names on Wednesday, including 4 softball players. Kaylin Bobsky is heading to Coffeyville Community College. Lily Glover is heading to Labette Community College. With Gracie Williamson, she's staying in the 4 states area at Fort Scott Community College. And Ava Wolf, she's staying home, donning the green and gold at Missouri Southern. Other signings include Brecken Green, who's headed to play baseball at Pitt State, Avery Benedict, who'll be playing golf at Crowder College, and Ava Dahl, who is joining the cross country and track teams at Missouri State.
Probably 10 to 15 family members that have gone there. My grandpa, he played basketball and baseball there. My mom went there. All my siblings have. So I've always been around the campus and always cheered them on. So it just feels really cool being able to live out that dream and just kind of be a player that I used to root on.
Missouri Southern was always so close to home. I mean, I grew up watching MSSU softball, and so growing up when I was little, I always dreamed of being on the field and playing with, the bigger, older girls, and so it's such a surreal moment getting that offer, and it just felt like the right place.
In Carl Junction, 5 Bulldogs made their commitments official with Marissa Newman. She's joining the cross country and track teams at MSSU. Lorelei Fawcett is heading to the University of Alaska Anchorage for gymnastics. Deacon Endicott is playing baseball at Pitt State. Aiden Spencer, he's going to go to Neosho Community College for baseball. And Brandon Larry will also be playing collegiate baseball. He's going to Allen Community College.
Chose Allen County for the coaching staff. I really like what they're doing there with the new program. They got 2 new coaches that came in, and I'm really excited to see what they do with the program.
I chose Missouri Southern because it's just kind of always where I wanted to go. As soon as I knew I wanted to run cross country in college, I was like, Southern. Just kind of my first choice.
I want to do gymnastics, and they had the program, and then I also want to go into aviation and be a pilot, so they also had that program. And the coach is a pilot, so it just worked out.
And in Neosho, 4 Wildcats celebrated their commitments for collegiate athletics, including a trio of softball players. Autumn Kennard is taking her talents to the University of Tulsa. Addie Hart is also heading to Labette Community College, and Ashlyn Stevens is joining the Greyhounds at Fort Scott Community College. On the baseball diamond, Brody Crane, he'll be playing D1 ball at the University of Arkansas.
The University of Arkansas has always been my dream school, probably since I was about 10 years old when I was first starting to play travel baseball. Their facilities are amazing, the coaches are great people, just the community is so involved, and overall it's just an amazing place to be.
I chose the University of Tulsa because the coaches really are great. The atmosphere at the college is awesome. It's pretty close to home. That was a big thing for me, and I'm really excited.
The boys swimming and diving championships are this week in St. Peters, and the Carthage Tigers are heading back to the big stage, receiving a special send-off on Wednesday. Before the team could hit the road, students and faculty lined the hallways to wish the Tigers luck and celebrate their success so far this year. Carthage is coming off their 4th consecutive Central Ozark Conference championship and look to cap off their season with some hardware.
This year has been kind of a big one. I've set a couple records, and it's just the last time that I swim for the high school. So the goal for the team is to try and make it to finals in our relays, and the goal is to make finals for myself. It's their first time going, so I want to give them a good time to be there and just let them have fun.
The Class 1 prelims get underway on Thursday with the finals taking place on Friday. The Pitt State men's and women's cross-country teams are getting ready for the Division II National Championships on November 22nd. On Wednesday, the Gorillas saw 8 athletes recognized for their performances this season. On the men's team, it's Dylan Sprecher, Nathan Heinrichs, and Tyler Atkins receiving All-Region and first-team All-MIAA Conference honors. Travis Sickles also received All-Region recognition and was named an All-Conference honorable mention. 4 Gorillas women also received honors as Paige Mullen, Lorna Ray Pierce, and Hannah Gibson were named to the MIAA Conference first team on top of all-region recognition. Casey Singer was also listed. She was named as an all-conference honorable mention. Seems like every week we see more and more Pitt State athletes continue to get recognized, but also we're seeing some athletes, they're signing, looking to continue their careers as well. So big day across the board, high school and collegiately.
And we've just started the season of signing. So I'm excited to see where all these kids are going and, wish them the best in their future too.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you so much. We're back with more news after this. Some of the most successful competitive dancers in the entire country live right here in Joplin. KOAM's sports reporter Ben McLeish has the story of the Putnick sisters.
Inside Ovation Studios in Carthage, you'll find 2 sisters who move like mirrors of one another. They spend hours each day in this room, sharpening every step, every turn, driven by something more than just talent.
I started dancing when I was 3 years old. Honestly, my mom just signed me up. She said, "Oh, your friend's taking dance, and I think this would be something fun for you to do."
But that simple sign-up turned into something extraordinary. Today, 15-year-old Yesvi and 11-year-old Arika Putnick are among the most successful competitive dancers in the region, winning titles across the country and representing the United States on the international stage.
When I got wrapped with the United States flag at the Continental Cup, it was such a great feeling.
And their success is no accident. Behind every performance are long nights, late homework, and a lot of sacrifice.
The next day, sometimes I've woken up at like 5 a.m., 4 a.m. I think the earliest I've woken up to do some schoolwork is like 3 a.m. and then gone to school the next day and done it all over again.
Even at that pace, they rarely take a break.
Instead of sitting down or instead of taking that break, we push through the pain.
And it shows.
They are some of the hardest working dancers that I've ever had the privilege of working with.
In the studio, they're dedicated athletes. On stage, they're storytellers.
You're required to have all the athleticism of any athlete, and in many cases more. On top of that, also have to have artistry and be able to have emotion and connection with an audience and be able to perform on stage and just really bring that dynamic to life.
And for these two, the connection runs deeper than any choreography.
We've done a duet for 5 years now, and every time we've always just connected really well on stage. Honestly, we fight a lot. We have that siblings arguments and stuff, but that makes us grow stronger on stage.
Sibling rivalry? Sure, but also a partnership built on trust, talent, and love.
Yes, we are sisters, we fight, but when you see that like each other has different strengths and you can help each other with that, it's always so helpful to have someone older than me who I can really rely on and tell her everything.
And through every performance, trophy, and late night at the studio, the Putnick sisters continue to prove that hard work and heart go hand in hand.
I would rather go on to a dance competition and be someone else's biggest motivator than win a national champion title, whatever. There's a million dancers in the world, and to know that someone watches me dance and to know someone cares, even one singular person, that means the world to me.
From the floor of Ovation Studios to stages around the country, they dance not just to compete, but to inspire. Ben McLeish, KOAM Sports.
The sisters' incredible journey is far from over. Later this month, they'll join Team USA in Italy and Belgium for the IDO World Championships. Well, Now You See Me brings more illusions to the big screen this weekend. The stars reveal their behind-the-scenes secrets up next. The magic-filled Now You See Me franchise returns with a third installment on the big screen this week. Now You See Me, Now You Don't. We spoke with the stars about the new globe-trotting adventure, their magician stage names, and the film that first amazed them with their movie magic. Here's Fox's Ashley Dvorkin.
It is very good to be back.
The four horsemen team up with a new generation of illusionists for a global adventure in Now You See Me, Now You Don't, taking on a corrupt diamond heiress.
It's the most valuable jewel in history.
The stars have sharpened their magic skills and can even teach some too.
Isla and I were walking through this park in Budapest where we shot the newest movie, and from a distance we see this kid trying to throw cards, but he was very bad at it. And I taught him how to throw cards, and by the time I walked away, he was whipping those across the park.
Returning cast were excited to reunite.
If you've been there twice, someone thinks that you've done a good job. To be asked back is proof. It's like, okay, yeah, you made the grade, so go for it again.
They love bringing audiences unexpected twists.
Our characters are doing magic tricks throughout the movie, but the whole movie in and of itself is a magic trick.
It's certainly an enchanting world to be part of.
What would your magician stage name be?
Sensational Sessa or something like that.
Oh, of course. And for me, eyes in the back of my head.
And I also want to talk movie magic. So what was the first movie you saw where you thought, how did they do that? That is movie magic.
Wow, great question. The first R-rated movie I saw was called Quick Change. Bill Murray was in it. And there was stuff in it that just shocked me deeply to my core because I'd never seen like an R-rated movie. They were robbing a bank in that movie, kind of similar to what we're doing in these movies.
Probably like the first Gladiator movie.
When I saw Jurassic Park in theaters,
that's a good one.
I remember watching Fight Club and being blown away.
Yes. Wizard of Oz was like one of the first movies I feel like ever to have so much magic in it, to do something so ahead of its time.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
Now You See Me, Now You Don't is in theaters November 14th. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
And that's our time for tonight. Thank you for joining us. We're going to leave you with video of wallaroos cuddling at the Oakland Zoo. Aw, have a great night and an even better tomorrow.